ドジャースの大谷翔平が日本時間4日、敵地で行われたダイヤモンドバックス戦に1番投手兼指名打者でフル出場しました。大谷は投手として6回を投げ、2安打無失点の快投を披露。打者としても3安打を放つなど、2四球を含めて5度出塁し、投打にわたって圧倒的な存在感を示しました。この活躍により、大谷は自身4連勝となる今季6勝目をマーク。二刀流としてチームの勝利に大きく貢献しました。試合前後には、大谷翔平に関する話題が各所で大きな注目を集めました。多くの関係者が大谷の投打にわたる活躍を称賛しており、改めてその規格外の存在感が際立つ一戦となりました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
You're out there today. You're going to be playing behind Shohei Otani. What has stood out to you about who he is on the mound this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to play behind. You know, I think I was out there last outing. He was just, mowing him down. And, he maybe a little bit struggled with the command, but for the most part, it was no contact. Guys were not hitting him. And it's just, he's got such great stuff. And he feels kind of like a power pitcher, like big time stuff, but then he also can do finesse and change speeds. So, I'm just always impressed by him. You run out of words to describe him, and it's fun to have him on our team.
When you're in the off season just working on stuff, is there ever a time where you might put him on the VR set to kind of face him, or are there other pitchers that you like to really lean into working off of?
Yeah, it's a good question. For the most part, this last off season, I gave my eyes a little break. After using it every day for a while. But as I get back into it, there are certain guys that I like to see, especially guys with the ride heaters. So I would watch Dylan Cease a lot. Just after facing him in my career, he was always somebody that I felt like the ball really jumped on me. But I faced Shohei before in the headset back when I faced him when he was with the Angels. I think that was 23, and he was throwing a lot more sweepers back then, I remember. But yeah, he's got good stuff, and it really depends on what you kind of want to see and what you want to work on.
Joins us again live with more on Shohei. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Look, he's a perfectionist, but he's also very honest. When he talked about his last outing after that game, he said he wasn't feeling his best as he was navigating through there. He felt like the fastball command hasn't really been as he's expected it to be. Dave Roberts today talked about not only his dominance, but what he believes has led to that dominance we've been seeing from Shohei Otani this season. While Dave Roberts today said they feel comfortable with Shohei Otani emptying the tank out there, they are still being very mindful when it comes to his recovery and managing that early fatigue that he dealt with this year. Of course, he talked about those 2 days off he had during the Giants series, 2 days off as a hitter. He, of course, did start one of those games, but Dave Roberts has shared that they are really continuing to find ways. So that means tomorrow for Shohei is going to be a recovery day. He's not going to be in as a DH. He will be available off the bench if need be. And they've even been intentional just with his schedule, primarily pitching on Wednesdays with the off day typically being on Thursdays. Well, that's not the case tomorrow. They're going to continue to read and react if they do believe that after a start day, that if he needs that day off the next day, they will very much give him that, guys.
See, he is human. He does need a day off to rest that body. Thank you very much, Kirsten. We'll see you again in just a bit. Our Dodgers had a good win last night. A couple of close games to kick off this series there in Arizona. And no more, we could probably expect more of the same between these two teams.
Oh, well, let's just change the script on that then. Go out there, put a bunch of runs up, and then let's stifle them. You got Shohei on the mound. I mean, he's a guy who can do that. I mean, we've seen him lead off with a home run. We've seen him pitch gems, so maybe we see more of that today. But get him some run support.
Yeah,
yes.
Pitchers are always complaining about run support. Hey, well, Shohei, you can do it yourself.
He has been.
Go out there, do it yourself, and continue to put runs on the board. But again, when you have a guy like Shohei Otani, the effort it takes to be so great on the mound and at the plate, truly fun to watch.
And Jerry, you were just saying moments ago you think Shohei Otani is going to win the Cy Young this year, and it's no secret that Shohei does want to win a Cy Young award. Aside from his sparkling 0.82 ERA, Jerry, we've seen a lot more emotion from him on the mound this year, at least more so than he does when he's a hitter. It's almost like he has a different mentality, a different personality when he's pitching.
Yeah, because he understands he has the ball in his hand, and he really can dictate each and every pitch of that half inning was on that mound. So I love that personality. I love the fight, especially in those big moments. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not showing up a hitter at all. He's celebrating a strikeout, celebrating those moments. And I love that passion, that fire. And I love the command he has of a variety of pitches, the way he shapes different breaking balls. He'll cut that fastball, he'll also run it, throw that fastball at 100 miles an hour. He'll throw the split as well. To have that delivery be so precise and have those pitches be so precise, it just shows how hard he works on that craft. So yes, I love the emotion, I love the fire. He cares so much when he's on that mound.
I think, he cares there. He cares everywhere. He cares when he's at the plate. We may not see the emotion, at the plate because, you see, 4 or 5 pitches, at bat's over, then you're back. And then usually a lot of times you show your emotions mostly when you're, in the, hiding outside in the dugout somewhere, whether it's on fire or maybe when you're really excited or feeling pretty good. So you kind of do that. But on the mound, obviously, as it's happening, as it's going on, you're throwing multiple pitches out there. Things are happening, you're focused. So it is a totally different environment, whether you're hitting and compared to being on the mound. And we're seeing it. I mean, like I said, the desire to win, there's no mistake. Whether he's hitting or whether he's on the mound, we've seen it.
The compete is off the charts, and his will and his desire to dominate is what drives that man each and every night. And since
with the series knotted at 1, the Diamondbacks have shown the fight necessary to take on the LA Dodgers, but tonight will be their greatest challenge. The best player on the planet is not only in the lineup, but on the mound. The modern-day Babe Ruth, Shohei Otani, and his minuscule .82 ERA. He is here in downtown Phoenix. And there is a buzz in the air, is there not?
Nobody can believe what they're about to see. You're about to see Otani hit, pitch, steal bases. There's nothing Shohei can't do. This is exciting, and it's an opportunity, Jody, for the Arizona Diamondbacks to show the baseball world what they're made of.
Absolutely, it is. We've seen them fight tooth and nail against this Dodger team the last 2 nights. It's 1-1. We'll see what happens tonight.
He's been so dominant because he's got a handle on his weapons, his pitches. I think last year he didn't have really command of his secondary pitches, whereas this year, the fastball, albeit the last few outings, hasn't been commanded, but he's got command of the fastball. He's got really good feel for the sweeper, the curveball, and the split.
He's probably a handful of players, one of a handful of players that could play in another league above the major leagues. It's the best way I can define it. And we used to say it's like Nintendo numbers. I don't know if that's still a thing. I know it's probably not a thing. It's probably PS4, PS5 numbers. Like, it's freakish what he's able to do. And you know where he is at all times in the lineup. You are budgeting to not let him beat you because he's just so unpredictable and there is no weakness. He's the best player I've ever seen.
And he's just doing what he does. I mean, obviously it's super unique, and it seems like we might be starting to take it for granted as fans, just because of this is just what he does. But it's truly remarkable what he's doing in the game. Hopefully he's just not on, and we can find a way to win a ball game.
He's from different planet, I haven't watched him pitch like often this season, but you guys know what he can do. He's a special guy, and how he performed at the mound, at the plate, he's only one guy can do it, just him.
I will say, Nolan Arenado, when I talked to him the other day, and he said that I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of taking for granted a little bit what we're seeing. Like, I'll see the highlights, I'll look and see after we leave here every night, on any given night, and I'll look at the box score. And I don't think I'm really realizing what Shohei Otani is doing.
Well, Jody, my rookie year was 1988, and my final year was 03. And now here we are in 2026. So from 1988 to 2026, as a player or broadcaster or coach, I have never played against, and none of us, Gonzo, none of us, have ever played against a guy like this. So he's a once in every 5 or 6 decades guy. I don't know if that might be, be selling him
Yeah.
short. That
I mean,
might be selling him short.
You talk about Babe Ruth because they're the only guys that pitched and hit at this level, and but the problem is we didn't see Babe Ruth. Live,
Yeah, we didn't see Babe Ruth, and guess what? If you walk this guy or he gets a single, he steals second. I don't think the Babe stole too many bases back in the day.
It's truly incredible. Let's go back to last year and see Shohei Otani get a start against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he was dominant, 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, but he is human after all. And here is the leadoff home run as 2 starts as a pitcher. So the other narrative we need to talk about a little bit here, and I'll set it up, is that, he wasn't hitting every day he was pitching this year. There were a few times where, because they want to manage his physical and mental health and ability. But the last 2 starts, as we saw, he had a leadoff home run. So if you're Zach Gallen tonight, is that kind of like, can I check this box? Can I just let him either get him out or get a single or something?
Yeah, it's funny that we talk about Otani as well. We should, but once again, think about if you're Zach Gallen. If you're Zach Gallen and you find a way to go out and beat Shohei Otani, you are the talk of baseball for days on end, for all through the weekend. Zach Gallen beat Shohei Otani, and I guarantee he's going to have a chip on his shoulder because Zach Gallen has been a great major league pitcher. So don't take Zach for granted either. But my goodness, that's a tall chore.
Yeah, the competitor in Zach, we've seen it, and we hope to see it again tonight. Now, there's the flashback to last season.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
How would you like to face that, Gracie?
I'm telling you, Jody, guys like this make me so happy to be retired. I don't have to go 0 for 4 against a guy like this ever again.
But if you grind out some at-bats and he goes 6, then what? You might win the game.
You get him out of the game, and you get into their bullpen a little bit, and it's worked the last 2 nights. The Diamondbacks have touched up the Dodger bullpen, but once again, it's easier said than done. But yeah, if you can find a way to get Otani's pitch count up, swing at the strikes and take the balls and put some pressure on him, you might find a way to win.
That's exactly what they need to do. 100 pitches has been kind of right around where Dave Roberts usually makes that move. And then as for Shohei Otani on the road this season, he's had 4 starts. ERA is even lower than his overall ERA. And the walks are, the walk rate. Last couple starts, he had more walks than he wanted, but according to Dave Roberts, he's correcting that tonight.
Yeah, he's. Honestly, I'm not even going to say any. What more can we say about him than we haven't already said, Jody? I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this baseball game. I can't wait to watch this guy pitch live in person because this will be a first for me.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and that's why we're going to have such a huge crowd here tonight, upwards of 40,000, I believe.
They're filing in.
So Perdomo gets first look. He singled in the 7th inning last night, his only hit in the series. Marte has the night off, is available off the bench, we're told. And he stuck his tongue out at Shohei, having a little fun with him right there. Might not want to poke the bear tonight. What's this?
A little gamesmanship there.
They were kind of joking around with each other in the field last night. You forget that Shohei Otani is an enormous human. He's 6'4" tall, 210 pounds, and an imposing presence out there on the mound. Sounded like it hit something, maybe Will Smith's mitt. I guess that's what happened when you stick your tongue out at Shohei.
So. Yeah, don't poke the bear, like you said.
No doubts about Shohei's athletic ability and fielding his position.
I mean, this guy, if he takes off that Dodger cap, he probably has a horn right in the middle of his forehead because this is a unicorn right here. You just don't see guys like this in Major League Baseball that excel in every area of the game.
Torey Lovullo was saying today that Otani is likely one of those rare players who could play at a level above the major leagues. There's only a couple of guys that can do that. Otani's got to tie his shoe. Got to get New Balance to give them their money's worth. Shattered the bat. Freddie well off the bag, and Freeman's got it. 7 up, 7 down for Otani. That's a souvenir you might want to save for the grandkids. Look, Shohei Otani once broke this bat.
Once sawed me off.
Otani getting his warm-up tosses in because he was on base to win the last inning. So they wipe out the pitch timer there and let him take what he needs. He's set down all 9 he's faced. And Geraldo Perdomo leads off the 4th.
That's something Craig Counsell had some issues with earlier this year. Giving Otani extra time just because he's a two-way player.
He's designated that way, and there's all kinds of special caveats that go with that. But you can't just have him hit and pitch. You have to designate him because it affects roster spots and all kinds of things. It's the fine print on the paperwork. Strike 1.
The small print, yeah.
That's right. Nothing small about Shohei Otani. Joking stuff, but I mean, this is what it must have been like to watch Babe Ruth. Now, Babe didn't do it really at the same time as much as Otani did.
And I'd be willing to bet a paycheck that Otani didn't eat a dozen hot dogs before he went out there to pitch tonight.
It must be something for a manager to have a player that you know is special, like Otani or Bonds, or like you had with Randy. Some of the others.
Yeah, you just can't wait to see them go about their business, knowing something amazing might happen on any given night.
Baseball at its simplest is pitcher against hitter. And in 11 confrontations in this game, Otani is 11 for 11 as the winner. He's retired all 9 that he's faced on the mound, and he's reached both times against Gallen with a single and a walk.
He's got to be the only person to ever do that. Because what pitcher leads off? Go 9 perfect on the one side and reach base in your first 2 while you've had 9 perfect. Just for the opportunity. 11 for 11.
You don't think that there would have been a pitcher hitting 9th that would get 2 at-bats and reaching both of them?
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Rare, though.
Yeah.
Get recording 9 outs and also get reach base twice. Yeah, but it's still rare.
Rare is his middle name.
Pretty much. I'm going to say he's the only one to do it from the leadoff spot.
Yeah. Yeah, any of the pitching stuff, when you add leadoff and try and find comps for that, you don't.
Yeah.
Shohei just looks particularly settled and comfortable at the plate these days.
He really does. You know, once he gets in his original posture and then he goes for his load, he barely moves his head and he just a little bit of spine angle change. Very upright here, but then he'll go to load. But it's right in the same spot all the time. It's very little movement. Found him. We didn't hear the scream this time.
There was a little yelp in there.
Was there?
Yeah.
Okay. Something Decoy would do.
Now the payoff from Gallen. Otani takes ball 4. He's 12 for 12.
He's a unicorn. There's got to be a higher league to call him up to.
If there was, he'd be the only one in it.
Yeah. You know what I wish for Shohei? I wish he'd ask for the jacket when he's on the bases, just for old time's sake. Maybe we see it if we get cold weather in the postseason.
I was going to say this would not be the place for it.
No.
I'd pass out.
With all the pictures that are taken of him all the time, that would definitely be one where the photographers would just be snapping away. I mean, he cannot leave the dugout during BP or early work or go out to play catch or anything, and there's not at least 5 to 10 photographers taking pictures of every single move. What do you do for a living? I take pictures of Shohei. Anybody else? Nope.
We just talk about him. Even those not paid to get shots of him, making sure they do. The ones paying to be able to take pictures of him. Otani's OPS up to 936. Average 296. ERA 0.75.
It's a Hollywood movie character. There definitely been movies about his life.
Line drive, base hit, right field. He has been on all 4 times.
This is some strength in this swing. He feels like he's going to get jammed, and he fights and fights and fights to get the barrel to it. Puts some top hand into it. Gets through that, doesn't pop it up.
2 singles, 2 walks, and 5 scoreless innings on the mound.
Have a night.
This game was a complete effort, whether you look at what the offense was able to do to provide the run support, but even also what the pitching was able to do. Shohei Otani, what is it like witnessing what he has been doing on the mound this year?
Yeah, he's been phenomenal for us. I mean, just doing it on both sides of the ball. I mean, at the plate, he's been phenomenal. On the mound, he's been phenomenal. So, I mean, can't say enough about him as an overall player in person. So, I mean, he gives us his best every single time he goes out there, and he's done a great job at it.
Well, Kyle, it was a fantastic night for all of you guys all around. Congratulations on this win tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great nights for the Dodgers and the greatest showman in baseball. Shohei Otani did his thing once again on the mound and at the plate, and right now he's speaking with Kirsten and the media.
Good title for a movie.
How much more satisfied were you with command and the feel of everything in the last couple of starts?
コントロールと感触は2投間結構良くなってるんですかね。前回よりは良かったかなとは思います。すごく良かったかちょっとわからないですけど、もう一度振り返りながら前回よりは確実に良かったんじゃないかなと思います。Yeah, today was definitely a lot better than last time. Hard to say if today was really good. I have to look back and just kind of see how it, just review it. But what I could tell for sure is it's better than last time. その違いは何か前回と比べて。最初に動き方の違いかなとは。ブルペンから良かったですし。はい、1週間の中での修正っていうのがしっかりできたのかなと思ってます。Yeah, I just moved well. Moved well overall. From the bullpen, pre-game bullpen, I felt pretty good.
Batting average, 941 OPS, and an 0.74 ERA. Nobody's ever done that before. What do you think of that?
900 OPS 防御率1点以下。誰も成し遂げてませんがどう思いますか。そうです。数字のバランス的には非常に、特に OPS に関しては上がってきているのはいいことですし、少しその出塁寄りにOBP 寄りにちょっと偏っているなんていうんですかね数字ではありますけど、もう少し長打率が高くなってくればよりベストかなと思ってます。Yeah, I'm happy that the OPS is going up. I think I'm a little bit more walk-oriented. I want to make sure that my slug gets up.
How challenging was it tonight being on base so often and having energy to pitch as well?
ベース出塁して何回も出てましたけども、エネルギーのところで心配しているところありましたが。そうです。マウンドの方がちょっと熱くは感じたので、でも打席も集中しながら、フォアボールも。取ってそれが点につながっていくっていうことはそれだけピッチングの面でも助けにはなるので多くの点を取れるっていうことはそれだけ自分にとってもベストなことではあるのでいいアウトバットだったなと思ってます。I felt hot on the mound overall. I was on the bases a lot, walked a lot, but for me it does help to have more runs. It helps on the pitching side, so I was happy with that.
Shohei Otani picks up his 6th win of the season. Now he's thrown 61 innings. The ERA, 0.74. And the whip, 0.79. Opponents just hitting a .144 against him. You see the 67 strikeouts and 6 more shutout innings tonight from him, Jerry. And they were stress-free innings from Shohei. Just didn't have a lot of traffic on the bases at all.
I know we kind of chuckled during the pregame show. He had 6 no-hit innings his last time out, but he kind of struggled. He had struggled with command. At times, the velocity was up and down. Tonight, we talk about on cruise control. He made it a point. He was going to come out here, attack the strike zone, and make sure all his pitches were working. When Shohei Otani is using that fastball effectively, dropping down that breaking ball, 3 or 4 different shapes of the breaking ball to go along with that split at times, he is so difficult to deal with, and he understands that. That's why he was so frustrated his last start, because he really didn't give himself a chance. He was effectively wow. Look at that slow breaking ball. Are you kidding me? That is a Shohei Otani he's used to, and he's a Shohei Otani we're used to. Complete control, command of all his pitches. So, yes, he did his last start, not give up a hit, but he really wasn't himself. Tonight was much more like it, and as I said earlier, this guy is on a mission to get that trophy on the mound.
We used to have a future Hall of Famer here who always talked about how much he hated walks and giving free passes. Kershaw hated giving free passes. He'd rather give up a solo home run than give up a free pass. So Shohei's last outing, he was upset at the free passes. It was like, listen, oh, he didn't give up a hit. He's like, you see how many free passes I gave? That is frustrating. That's the sign of a guy who wants to get ahead, who's competing, wants to win all the time, and he made it a point. He wasn't going to give up free passes today, or he was really doing his best to really minimize. I guarantee when he looks back, he's going to be upset at that one that he did give up. Like, I gave up a free pass. But at the same time, he still was going out there competing, attacking hitters, being efficient, and was just fun to watch. It really was. As he was utilizing everything, it is really hard as a hitter when you're facing Shohei Otani, when he's pitching like this, to sit on any pitch. There's nothing you really sit on. It's one of those where you hope and pray, maybe you guess, you look in a particular area, and hopefully your barrel's able to find it when it actually falls into that area.
On base 5 times, too, by the way. Seriously.
Yeah.
On base 5 times, and he goes out there and does what he does on the mound. We call him the unicorn. Yeah. He's that unicorn.
1 of 1. And another win tonight for Shohei and the Dodgers. Let's head back to the booth, check in one final time with Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser.
Behind 6 scoreless innings from Shohei Otani and an up-and-down, top-to-bottom offensive effort, the Dodgers roll tonight.
Yeah, he was on a roll early. We thought we might even have something special with a no-hitter, but Moreno hits that double down the line, but he continued on and really mowed him down. And when you have a 16-hit attack from the offense, plus Otani on the mound throwing the ball the way he is, it's going to turn out to be a W.
When you look at the the pitching side, Shohei Otani, what he's able to do today, and honestly what he's been doing this season, how do you describe it?
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, he's the best player that's ever, walked this earth. It's fun to see him each and every day, going out there competing, getting 6 scoreless innings, getting on base a bunch, doing that all the time. It's really cool.
Lamented his lack of command coming into the start, which is a little crazy given his sub-1 ERA, but he felt it was better today. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think honestly he was. I know the few balls kind of sprayed away. Probably helped him back some guys off the plate, make him feel a little more uncomfortable, but I think overall, yeah, his command was actually pretty good.
It's been primarily fastball sweeper for the last handful of starts. Everything else is very minimal. Why is that?
I don't know.
You're back there. You call it.
Yeah. I think he's got a good feel. He's got a good feel for the game. It's working each and every day. I don't know exactly why, but yeah, he's getting out, so that's all that matters.
Nomar, once again, how was Shohei Otani dominant on the mound?
Well, we said earlier, use all of his pitches. We know the fastball is devastating. He was utilizing that as well, especially on the arm side. We're going to go to the K zone and look how he was putting guys away. And it was a mix of his pitches. He had the fastball working. You always have to be aware of that. Oh, why? Because it's about 98 to 99 miles an hour. There, top of the zone, get the swing and miss. Then he gets a slider right underneath the hands. I mean, that is just devastating. That glove side slider is just nasty, but hitting the corner. But that pitch right there, you got the one that's up in the zone on the arm side. He was able to control that a few times in this game. And then you get the big 12-6 that freezes you. The fastball down. Why? Because you need a ground ball to get out of the inning. Help yourself out. Location with the fastball, executing all of his pitches was excellent today.
Obviously, he could throw any pitch at any time. 100 miles an hour, throw that slow breaking ball, has a nasty sweeper. There's that breaking ball. I think it was Walden Schmidt. He made that slow breaking ball. He had some swag. We go back and look at that. Drops that, you go, yeah.
Wouldn't you if you dropped that on somebody?
Yeah, you see that thing while he's running the mound there. He is so difficult. And here's the thing, and we say this a lot, especially this season. Him not pitching and having just a full year hitting obviously helped from the hitting side. But I think it really helped him from the pitching side understand, you know what, if I can reshape certain breaking balls, use a variety of pitches, throw it at any count, that would drive me nuts as a hitter. I'm going to do that to hitters when I get back on the mound. He is doing just that, and that's why he's been so dominant.
Yeah, some of those guys go back to the dugout and they'll ask, what's working tonight?
Everything.
It was for Shohei tonight. Dodgers get the win 7-0. Let's hear from Dave Roberts with Kirsten and the media.
Dave, I guess we should start with Shohei. What he's been able to do, whether it's been this season and the start today, how did you see him just continue to build on the excellence that he's had on the mound this year?
Yeah, today was really good. Today was good. I thought the velocity was there when it needed to be there. Command was better. He wasn't fighting himself as much as he was in the past few outings. Some sweepers. Mixing the curveball a little bit. But, I thought he was in a good rhythm, and it was nice that, with his bat, too, we caught a nice lead, and, we're able to kind of, really not threaten much. Those guys weren't really, didn't have much for him tonight.
0.7 ERA now through 10 starts. What is he doing to be this effective at preventing runs and over this kind of extended period of time?
I think, he's really being very selfish with base runners, trying to give up runs. I think a lot of starting pitchers, you feel your way into the game and you give up a couple early, then you bear down. But I've noticed with Shohei, every run is a premium, and he's literally trying to throw a shutout every single time he goes out there, where I don't know if every starter has that mindset.
How does that kind of show itself? Is it like in the way he attacks guys? It's just like in his...
Well, it shows itself because he doesn't let off the gas early. He's not trying to sit back and let stress be created and then, bear down. So he's doing a good job of minimizing it from the outset.
Are you considering sending him out for another inning, given he's off tomorrow? Or?
I was until we tacked on a couple more with the Freeland hit. And then I just felt that, I had Hernandez up a little bit for that reason. And I just felt, with a 7-run lead, to what end of having him, go into the 7th inning.
Can you tell us how great what Shohei is doing?
I think everyone kind of sees it. Being able to do what he does at the plate and on the mound, every single day and every 5th or 6th day that he throws, he's done a phenomenal job. I don't throw 100, so I can't relate or know what he goes through, but he's given us everything he has every single time he goes out there, every single day. So he's done a phenomenal job.
Rough day today. Just couldn't get anything going offensively. Their starting pitcher was very good, but I feel strongly about our group and being able to go out there and run up some good at-bats and challenge any good starting pitching. To get to where we got to get to, we got to beat that type of starting pitching. And he's locked in. He's got whatever it is, a .6 earned run average. He's got a .7 whip. So there's very few base runners, and he's just locked in. So it's a challenge, but you got to be able to accept that challenge and move forward and find a way to get on base, find a way to have a scrappy at bat, and then somebody comes up and slugs. That's really what it comes down to.
There he is. Shohei Otani lowers his ERA to .74. Meanwhile, he was on base 5 times. Gracie, he had 3 hits and 2 walks.
So he was pretty good tonight, huh?
I don't know. I think you said it well. We were sitting here getting ready for the show, and it was 7-0, and you said it feels like 20-0, and that's
really
how it felt.
Not only do you get shut out on 2 hits, but it took you a long time to get shut out. It was like over 3-hour game. You don't see many shutouts go this long, so you had to just kind of deal with this one for a long time and just go home feeling kind of yucky tonight, Jody.
A mildly depressing stat is that the Dodgers were actually 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position. They left 14 on base, so it could have been worse.
That's probably why it felt like it should have been 20-0.
Could have been way worse. So let's begin, though, with Shohei Otani, who had more hits than he gave up, had more walks than he gave up. It was a pretty incredible performance, and started right away. And he did have some errant pitches, but he dialed it back in when he had to.
Yeah, Corbin Carroll, this shows the athleticism of Otani right there. Corbin Carroll can fly, and Otani just bounces off the mound beautifully. And then it was just easy out after easy out, ground balls, strikeouts, the fastball, the assortment of breaking balls. Really, the Diamondbacks just had nothing for Shohei Otani, and that's kind of the norm for him. He doesn't give up too many base hits, but he'll break a batter 5. But you just see he's better than the rest of the league on the mound and at the plate, and he proved that here this evening.
It kind of brought up the Torey Lovello comment about he is one of those guys that belongs in a higher league, and it's kind of like Little league, when you're like, oh, this kid's ready to go to majors now, or well, where does Shohei go? You know, where does he go?
Yeah, and I used to say that before the injuries about Mike Trout. Yeah. Mike Trout was one of those guys, if there was a higher league, he would be there. And obviously, Tori was right talking about Shohei because, you know, I hope you watch tonight, guys, because this is a special treat that you're probably not going to see at least for 50, 60 more years. Now, I'm not going to be around then. I know that's going to bum you out, Jody. But at the same time, this is a once-in-a-lifetime talent in Shohei Otani. So I hope you enjoyed it because he didn't disappoint tonight.
Dodgers piled up 16 hits. The Diamondbacks just 2. Gabriel Moreno in the 4th and Geraldo Perdomo in the 6th inning. And Shohei Otani was in complete control, throwing curveballs at 70 miles an hour and fastballs at 99 miles an hour, keeping this team off balance. And it kind of spurred a conversation for us as we were getting ready for the post-game show of like, just how good is he at baseball? And in your years of playing the game, many, many years, and watching the game as a broadcaster and a coach, who else is in this conversation as far as guys who made baseball look easy?
Yeah, and there was 3 guys that stand out in my era, and it was Ken Griffey Jr., it was Alex Rodriguez, it was Barry Bonds, and now I'm adding Shohei Otani because this is the first time I've seen him hit live. This is the first time I've ever watched him pitch live. And he belongs in that category because baseball is easy for this young. All those guys on your that I listed, but this baseball is just so easy for Otani. I mean, probably the best hitter in all of baseball and probably the best pitcher in all of baseball. How about a guy that could, depending on, you know, other pitchers in the National League, he could win the Cy Young Award and the MVP this year.
It's incredible.
And like I said, this guy's an anomaly. He just, once again, and then also he brings speed to the game. So the game is easy for this young man. And honestly, even though he took it to our Diamondbacks, it was a pleasure to watch this talent tonight because you're not going to see it in another lifetime.
Yeah, it is special. And, you know, I asked Dave Roberts before the game, why is he so much better? Why is this ERA 0.82? And he said, well, coming off Tommy John, you know, and, you know, he's had a couple of issues with the elbow, but now he's got command of all his pitches. And I think that's what stood out to me is the fact that, yeah, I mean, not only is he throwing these pitches and they're nasty and they're moving, but he's throwing them exactly where he wants to have them.
And yeah, and when with the talent that he's got and the stuff that he's got when he's on the mound, if he's hitting his spots, got his great command, you might as well just go home. Just go home because you're not going to hit him.
Well, that's no fun.
And that was proven tonight.
No, it really was. It was. And, you know, as much as the D-backs wanted, they usually do a pretty good job of grinding out. They got him out after 6, but this game was just, it was totally in control for the LA Dodgers. And then Hernandez came in and kept it there, and there was just no threat. So you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, you know, watching Bonds through the years, I mean, I watched all those players that you mentioned, but I mean, the obvious separator, because I thought Bonds was so special.
Right.
But Shohei with the pitch, I mean, how can you even, you know, again, we talked about this pregame. How do you even compare a guy who pitches at this level, elite pitcher, and elite hitter?
He's offensively as good as the guys that were listed, but add the pitching, add the size. This guy's got an ERA under 1, 0.73. We're in June. You kidding me?
Yeah, it's right up there amongst. I think Jacob deGrom still has the record through, you know, X amount of starts. Of course, he's had less starts typically, but it's like 0.56. But yeah, we're going to see this season go on and see what he ends up with. So, but yes, thank you for that perspective. That was a fun conversation.
Thank you.